liked the show and I recommend it, and you should check it out. Welcome back to Dramatic Evaluation. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Apple TV Plus show, Dark Matter. Apparently there's a show on Sci-Fi, I think, channel, or just a sci-fi show or something called Dark Matter. Not that one. The show on Apple TV Plus, starring Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly and some other people, but those are the leads. And I'm going to kind of just be winging it here. I usually kind of take some notes and prepare like a little doc to kind of guide me through making these videos. This is the first time I'm just kind of going to wing it, and I didn't prepare anything. I just finished that show last night, and it was really good. Solid show. I definitely recommend it. Jumping the gun a little bit. So this video will be spoiler free, or very, very light spoilers. I'll probably put in the thumbnail and title or whatever, like light spoilers, spoiler light, whatever. But I'm not going to talk about any major plot points or things like that. I'll kind of skirt around things, but I will just kind of bring up a detail or a thing here or there while giving kind of an overview of the show. So here we go. Also, don't mind my weird red cheek. I don't know what's going on there. I did have to start a course of prednisone, which I'm not really stoked on, for this health issue that I'm dealing with that I talked about a couple videos ago. If you didn't see that, I'll link it at the end of this video, and you can check that out. But I don't know if it's a reaction to that or what the heck's going on, but yeah, my cheek is red, and that's weird. I also was told I might gain weight, and particularly get chipmunk cheeks. I really hope that's not the case. I don't want that, and so if you see me in my next videos over the next couple months start to just expand out chubby chipmunk style, that's why. But let's cross our fingers and hope that's not the case. Anyway, so Dark Matter. I'm just gonna do like a brief kind of overview because I just really liked the show and really want to recommend that you check it out. I'm not gonna do an in-depth review or anything, so I don't want to do spoilers. But the light spoilers, I guess, would come here where I kind of just give the premise of the show. Probably get this from watching a trailer for it or something like that. That's kind of how I'll try to not spoil. It's treat it like trailer style. But basically a guy gets abducted in the first episode by a person who, I won't say who the person is because I guess that gets into spoiler territory, even though it's revealed at the end of the first episode or in the second episode. But he kind of wakes up, or the guy abducts him and drugs him, and he's knocked out or whatever, and then he comes to, and he's not in his reality as he knows it. So first episode kind of establishes he has a wife and a kid, and some supporting characters, and then realizes he's not in that reality, and he's doesn't have his wife and kid, or they don't know who he is, and that kind of thing. And so he's having to navigate and figure out what's going on here. Why is this happening? He was a scientist, or I guess in this reality he's a physics teacher, but in another, basically the show deals with alternate realities and infinite realities, and this character in one of the realities creates a way to travel to different realities. So I guess there's a spoiler. Goes in that first episode, that's who abducts him. He abducts himself to switch lives and live his life for a particular reason that you find out pretty early on. Again, try not to spoil stuff, but that's basically the gist of it. Is he's trying to find a way to get back to his reality, to get back to his family, and so he's the protagonist while also playing the antagonist, because it's an alternate version of himself that is sort of the bad guy who's kind of done this to him, and he needs to deal with that and figure out a way to resolve this situation. So that's kind of the gist of it, and kind of how much detail I'll give, so hopefully I didn't spoil too much there, but there's a whole lot more to the show that you'll find and things. So the show gets crazy. Like it's super unique, super cool take on like a multiverse, alternate reality, infinite dimension or reality kind of situation. There's just multiple ways and things that they deal with that across all the episodes. There's 9 episodes. They are like 55 minutes, so they're pretty long. It's pretty long seasons, but you get through it pretty quick. It's engaging. It's not boring or dragging. It's definitely a solid ride the whole way through. And they just do a lot of cool things with the alternate reality thing that I just, I don't want to describe too much of it because I don't want to spoil things, but things pop up that you like wouldn't expect, and you're like, oh wow, that's like a really interesting way to handle what could happen or what you would have to deal with, or if you were navigating this situation, like what possibilities could arise. And I just, every episode you're just like kind of enthralled with like, oh my gosh, like how did they come up with this? This is really cool what they're having to like deal with and get through. So just really liked it a lot. It was really well done. The acting is excellent. I mean, Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly, 2 incredible actors. Jimmy Simpson, who is one of the McPoyles in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is not a main character, but he's like he's a character in it, and he's solid. He's great, dramatic actor. A couple other characters or a couple other actors that I don't know their names, but they were good. Just really good performances in the show. Really, really good writing. Like I said, real interesting situations that they come up with and have the characters deal with. And I just really recommend the show. You definitely should check it out if you like any kind of like sci-fi thriller type of show, and character like a man against the odds trying to figure out the situation and sort of survive certain situations and trying to get back and reunite with his family and figure out how to deal with this situation that he's in. So you should definitely check it out if you're into that. And I don't know what else to say about the show without spoiling it. Keeping this one short too. Been putting out a lot of longer videos, going into a ton of detail and spoiling things in those spoiler videos that I do that have spoilers in them. So I figured I would do a kind of a spoiler light or almost spoiler free version of a, not even really review, just kind of overview or just my thoughts on, hey, I liked the show and I recommend it and you should check it out. So for my rating, I gave this an 8.8. It's just, that's how much I enjoyed this. It was almost a 9 up there. Super good. Like I already said, all the stuff about how it's good and why it makes sense that it gets an 8.8. Yeah, like I said, just definitely recommend this show. Check this out. You'll know a lot of times, like for me, it takes like a few episodes to kind of get really hooked into things. Like I think it's the case for everybody. You start like, just takes a little time to get set in the world and attached to the characters and the storyline. So I think, that's probably the case for this show, but you're definitely going to be intrigued. Like they do a good job of like hooking you and having you be intrigued of like, this is a crazy situation. What's going on here in the first episode, by the end of the first episode. So I would say if you're not digging it after the first 2 or 3, then maybe it's not for you, but I just don't know how that would be possible because it's very engaging and it hooks you pretty quickly. So that's it for my kind of overview, talking about the Apple TV Plus show Dark Matter. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment if you would. Let me know what you think about the show. Let me know if you agree with me that it's good or if you had any particular thoughts about the show. And let me know what you want to see me cover in a future video. So stay tuned. Until next time.